think we started.
Okay. Let's hope so. Hi. I am not sure if this is live, but my name is Maria, and I am the Training, Behavioral, and Enrichment Coordinator at the Greater Androscoggin Humane Society. With me today, I have Shannon, and Shannon actually is the manager of the front desk area, guest relations. Hello, Shannon.
I have lots of titles, so it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, maybe we just started now?
Well, I guess we
A little technical difficulty here this afternoon.
My name is Maria. I am the Behavioral Enrichment and Training Coordinator at the Greater Androscoggin Humane Society. With me today, I have the awesome Shannon, and she works at the front desk. If you call, a lot of times you will speak with her.
Absolutely. I definitely talk to a lot of people.
She wears many hats here, let's say that. I apologize if the connection seems to be slow today. Today we are going over some holiday tips with people to keep their primarily cats and dogs safe and comfortable during the holiday season. Although there's all these restrictions during COVID now. So the first thing I think we will go over is door entry. And door entry is key because a lot of animals do escape during the holidays when people are going in and out. And the first thing that is key, especially with dogs and cats, is to have them chipped. It's so much easier to find them, and have them back to your house if they are chipped. A lot of people don't chip their cats, and we run into a lot of issues with that where we can't reunite the animal with the owner a lot easier.
Yeah. A microchip is the single best way to ensure a happy reunion for you and your pet if they get out. I know I have indoor cats that like to wander on the porch sometimes, so keeping them chipped is great. People don't always think about that if they have an indoor cat, but they can easily get out. So a microchip is the best thing to do, and we do offer that service here at the shelter for a very low fee.
Nice. Okay. The second thing would be I highly recommend a gating system for dogs, or putting them or the cats away in a room if you're worried about them getting outside, or also worried about their behavior. So my rule of thumb in general with dogs when I speak to clients is if your dog is pushy, even in a friendly way, running at the door, jumping on people, demanding attention, they shouldn't be allowed to go to the door. All right. Even though they're being friendly about it, it can actually create what's called a lack of deference in dogs toward their humans. And in all reality, when the dog is barreling towards the door, when the doorbell rings, they are demanding attention, and it is to the dog, it is allowing the humans into the home. It's not the humans allowing other humans into the home. So that's just something to keep in mind. And some dogs are also extremely reactive to masks. And obviously, because it's COVID right now and we are all wearing masks, it's a lot easier for them to calm down and decompress if they're in a different room and they don't have that initial energy level that is brought about with people coming and going.
Well, that's kind of cool. My first floor at my house is all open, so it's hard. I don't have a separate room. But we've got my little dog trained. When the doorbell rings, she goes up on the couch to look out the window. She's not perfect. She still kind of rushes at the door sometimes. But we just say, up on the couch. And she does that. So we're trying to find something that works for us that keeps her away from the immediate entrance to the door.
And that's actually perfect. That was the next thing I was going to kind of go over with the future. So, if your dog isn't as far as, advanced as Shannon's is right now.
She's not that advanced.
That is a lot better than many. It's something to work towards the future. It's a goal. So, the next thing is dogs learn by association, meaning that when you grab their leash, they know it's walk time. You open a bag of chips, they're right there side-eyeing you, pretending not to notice, or blatantly staring at you with intense longing. Humans also learn by association as well. I guess the easiest way would be when I was a child, I'd be in the park playing, I'd hear ice cream music in the distance from an ice cream truck, and I would be the one that would be parkouring through the park trying to find the ice cream truck. So with that understanding in the future, you could pair a stimulus, like a doorbell, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could scatter treats on the floor behind you. Or, you could teach your dog to get up on the couch or up what the value is of going to their bed by scattering treats there or food. And then teach them to go to that place instead of rushing to the door. So you could also give them their dinners. And the easiest way to practice that is you would actually ring the doorbell and then scatter those treats or put their bowl of food down. Again, that's the association that's made. So right now, just because of humans, they hear the doorbell, they know somebody's there, and they know to run to the door. We need to break that and insert something else, and that's what Shannon did with her dog by teaching the dog to go to the window instead. So you can replace any negative behavior by not allowing the dog to do that anymore, and that would be where a gating system would come in, where you're tethering your dog, leashing your dog, putting your dog behind, a closed door, so you can break them of that initial jumping up on people or rushing out of the door or any kind of behavior you don't want repeated, and replacing it. Okay?
That'd be cool. I'm gonna have little bits of dog food everywhere because I'm gonna hear the doorbell and I'm gonna go scatter food. My husband's like, "What is that? That's not confetti. It's dog food."
You could also,
but it has a purpose.
Yes. It just basically gives them something to do, a distraction, instead of focusing on the door and the energy level. And then by the time they're done with the doorbell ringing, eating the treats or eating their food, then they can calmly approach. The visitors are already in, and they don't make that association anymore where doorbell, door, rush to the door. So you were kind of breaking that cycle.
Mm-hmm. That's smart.
All right, so the next thing, table surfers or counter surfers. And, let's address why they do it. Well, they do it because they can. I mean, why not, right?
Absolutely.
So you actually have a little dog, so you don't have that.
Oh, well, I do, though. I do, because she's little and she climbs up on everything. And, even like if you have a coffee table and you're having people over and you want to have a veggie tray on the coffee table, you have to think, oh, the dog can reach the coffee table. So,
and I have a Great Dane, so yes. And when I actually got my Great Dane, as a puppy, 6 weeks old, I said to myself, well, I better teach her better behavior than counter surfing because she stands a whopping 6'4" on her hind legs now. So if I would not have taught her to better behavior than counter surfing, I would have a lot of problems. But so again, somewhere along the line, through unintentional reinforcement, it's not like we wanted our dogs to be surfing, all over the counters. But to them, every time they would get up and kind of look around the counter and see something, be it a piece of mail, something that they're not supposed to have, right? Otherwise they'd be on the ground. That was unintentionally rewarding their counter surfing. We need to break that in the future, okay? So the easiest way is to make what's on the floor valuable, all right? So the more dogs are investigating the world below, which is the ground, and they find things of value, the less interested they are to seek things out above. Now, this concept only works if when they do seek things up above, and they will, okay, dogs always repeat what gets them something, there can be nothing of value up there. So food or plates, or I've had some dogs that will reach up to grab loaves of bread and scarf them down. And I've also, bear in mind, had clients with dogs that would actually do it because all they really wanted was the attention from the owner. Mm. So to them, it's rewarding because they'll actually look at you and see if you're watching them on the, look at the counter.
My dog does that. She's like, I'm going to be bad, but I'm only going to be bad if you're watching me. She totally does that.
So very rewarding. Very rewarding. So that really is the best way to combat counter surfing in the future. And I recommend that by, we do a lot of scatter feeding here. Food caching is a good one. If you have a dog that needs a job, and most dogs do need jobs, even you give Gus a job, I think, with her chasing a ball or doing nose work or something like that. Even food caching is great, and it's easy to do. And what you do is you take higher value treats, not biscuits, things that are easier for a dog to smell, and you can put little treats, in different places, even on chairs. Some dogs want to work so hard that they can learn to open up a cupboard. If you leave it partially open, they can scent the treats out. So you'll start to see over time a pattern if you're doing this consistently, where the dog is constantly searching the ground or searching on a chair or searching at that level instead of searching up on your counters, um, you know, instead, right?
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, I think that my cats could probably teach Gus how to get into a cupboard pretty easy because they seem to be very good at that.
Cats are very smart.
Yeah, they
and people
are.
don't train them enough. I mean, they're amazing actually when you can clicker train them. So
Yeah. So if you were going to be doing like higher value treats, like little bits of chicken or cheese, something that you probably wouldn't feed them all the time, that has high value and that they really like.
yeah,
So things like that would be good.
yeah. Like I recommend when you're doing any kind of specialized training, like even behavior training, you should be pairing that with little bits of cheese. Mozzarella are one of the best for health reasons. Bits
So,
of chicken, that kind of stuff is great for nose work.
so like I always have string cheese. I could cut
Yeah.
a string cheese into a bunch of little pieces.
Yep.
And that would be a good choice.
Yeah, and
Nice.
some people do that when they come to my training classes. They'll just bring a little thing of string cheese and they're sitting there ripping it off. But yeah, so the next thing would be food snatching. In my history of clientele all across the board with different dogs, there is one common denominator, and that would be homes with children. Be it the toddler that's feeding the dog Cheerios while the dog is doe-eyed looking up in starvation mode, or the child is running across the floor and their milk is spilling everywhere, or snacks that they have. It teaches the dog that they don't need to work for anything, that anything in a child's hand or a human's hand is fair game, or anything that falls on the floor. We don't want that. Dogs need to work. All right, they need a job to do, and that teaches them proper deference in humans. So that is one thing to watch for. As all living beings, dogs, it doesn't matter, cats, humans, all need to work for their keep and their food to feel accomplishment and to survive. I believe, are we posting a handout on?
Yeah. So a lot of these tips that we're talking about today, we'll be posting a new handout on our resources page. What we'll do is in the playback, I think that'll be going up probably on the website probably by tomorrow. So what I'll do is we'll add the link for the specific handout for this topic in the comments of the live of the replay. So it'll be there.
Great.
But there's all sorts of stuff on our resources page about different behavior things. So always, if you're looking for advice, go there.
Perfect. Perfect. Now I'll quickly mention that I am a firm follower of Dr. Sophia Yin, and she is a world-renowned behaviorist and trainer. But she came up with the learn to earn concept, and it helps a dog learn deference. Or it's also been called the nothing in life is free. And basically it teaches your dog that they need to work for everything, and that eventually down the road will help with counter surfing, table surfing, food snatching, because a dog understands, it's better to work for my owner than it is just to snatch food and have negative consequences, right? So there again, the handouts, as she said, she is amazing and puts all the handouts out on the website for me. And looks them over, so she's pretty awesome. But the other thing we kind of wanted to go over is everybody likes to give their dogs human food. I mean, a lot of people, you either do or you don't, I guess. Some people are avidly against it, but
I wish I was one of those people.
I give my dogs human food all the time.
I
So
do too.
it's just a matter of what you give them.
Yeah.
So some common acceptable foods, this season would be more along the lines of pumpkin, or the main thing is the additives that go into food. So, if you look at how you eat, if you're somebody that, like I am, I eat nitrate free, I eat low sodium, I eat things that don't have a ton of preservatives, that would be more acceptable for my dog to get as well. Or my cat, like some cats love pumpkin, some cats like sweet potato, some cats like chicken.
Squash. My
Squash,
dog loves squash.
Yeah, and that, again, that's another, the squash family is very open you can give that to your animals as well. So pumpkin is amazing for digestion. And we actually came up with a friendly food guide list that will
It'll be up on the website as well. And we'll probably share that on our Facebook as well, to get that out there to everybody. But again, on our resource page, you'll see there's going to be 2 resources regarding food. One is kind of like a quick reference chart, that's just kind of a quick overview. It's not all encompassing. And then there's a longer handout where Maria gave a lot of really great information specifically about why things are either on the good list, the bad list, or the in moderation list.
Yeah, and it's not an all-encompassing list because some dogs have dietary needs. Obviously, the go-to is your veterinarian.
Absolutely.
We're not saying this is, a guide,
This
to
isn't
everything.
this isn't going to be specific to every pet necessarily, but it's just kind of a general overview based on recommendations from different resources and vets.
Yeah.
So it'll be a great resource for everyone.
And in this holiday season, I know most people do turkey for Thanksgiving, others do ham for Christmas. I would highly stay away from giving your dog ham. The salt content and the sugar, all of that is not good for them. But if you do turkey, you'd want the best source for them is white turkey meat, not the dark because it's too fatty. And also the skin, they don't need that either. So honestly, the bland, the better, because they usually don't get a lot of the stuff you will be treating them with. So there's a lot of recipes that we have. Even drying, if you have an air fryer or an oven, you can dry sweet potato slices, and that is an amazing treat for them. You can make easy pumpkin pup cakes. There's so many different things you can make. The other thing I wanted to go over is tryptophan is found in turkey, and it's actually a natural amino acid, and that is found in turkey, chicken, milk. There's so many variations in foods that it's actually found in, and there has been studies that show it can have calming effects.
Sorry, no, that makes so much sense. It's gonna help the dogs.
Contrary to what people say, yes, but contrary to what people say, where after you eat Thanksgiving and a big meal on Thanksgiving, tryptophan is what makes you tired, that has been shown to not be true. What it is all of the other things you eat with it, which would be tons of carbs, tons of desserts, and a few of you who prefer drinking spirits with it. But tryptophan actually is safe for animals and safe for humans. So the last thing I wanted to touch base on is tips for shy and reactive dogs and cats. Now, we're only going to touch base on this. We're not going to go in full detail, but there is a lot more full detail on the website in the handouts for, shy dogs specifically or shy cats specifically. So if you guys have any specific questions, feel free to ask them as well. So basically, the fail-safe for management for either a cat or a dog, like I said, is to have them, put away until it's calmer in the home. Everybody's sitting down, it's comfortable, and there's just the energy level is brought down. And it is key for shy dogs to be completely ignored. All right. So if you're going to have them out, don't have them out the whole time. Bring them out and think of it as more as a training opportunity in behavior. So if you bring them out, a dog or a cat needs more time to assess the situation and to recognize that humans aren't so bad. And animals, again, they learn by association. So if your dog or your cat isn't familiar with people or they're nervous, you would want to have, instead of free feeding that turkey that we're talking about, you might want to give pieces of that to your guest. And that will entice the animal to overcome its shyness a lot of the time and investigate, because there's value of coming towards that human.
I have 2 cats, and I won't say my cat is shy, but she's not always friendly. I have a bottle of catnip spray.
Perfect.
That I offer to people if they want to spray themselves with a little catnip when they come into my house, because one of my cats will be nicer to you if she smells that catnip.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a little trick that we use. I have
That's
one that will kind of get her fill of people and go hide, and one that's just not so friendly. So
yeah.
the catnip helps.
Yeah, and that's actually I was going to bring that up too.
Sorry.
Because, no, that's
To jump
actually
ahead.
perfect. Nope, I was going to bring that up because some cats, usually it's cats more than dogs, depending on the history of the dog. Some dogs don't know what toys are. Some cats don't know what toys are. But once you elicit prey drive in a cat, using wand toys like with feathers or something that still creates a distance from the human, or laser light from the human and the animal is perfect. And again, sometimes animals are more toy motivated than treat motivated. So those are some really good ideas. Catnip is always a win-win. And for dogs, a lot of times, if you have a piece of chicken, they're more inclined to come on over versus throwing a ball, because for them, they're like, oh, chicken, we're there. So the main thing too I want to stress is, again, you don't want to over push your animal. Dogs or cats, sometimes, usually it's dogs, they don't know when to take breaks a lot of times. So you don't want to keep them out the whole time. If you're doing behavior modification stuff with them and getting them used to people, you'd want to give them breaks, because they don't really know sometimes how to give breaks and leave the situation. So frequent breaks are great to prevent overstimulation of the animal and, to have a positive association with everything.
So just giving them like an extra kind of like a spot where they know they can kind of go to escape. Like if you have an office or something, you can make sure that your dog has a bed in there that they can go sneak away to. Like I said, I have one cat that when she's had her fill of people, she'll just go right upstairs, and she can. We don't block off the bedroom doors. She can go upstairs and go hang out there. So make sure they have a space where they can get away if they want it.
Yeah, and cats usually get bored pretty quick. Sooner than dogs.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, if you're working with a nervous or shy animal, while you're doing these little training events, like leave it 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then put them away or allow them to leave. Initially, we don't want them to be in their comfort zone, because sometimes the animal will choose just to hide the whole time. That's not down the road helping the animal, okay? Because they just will sit in their safe spot. So what you want to do is bring the animal out, shut the doors, okay? And then give them that 10 to 15 minutes where everybody ignores them. The humans, even direct staring is threatening to an animal. An animal wants to be like a wallflower when they're shy, and they want to observe, and they want to hear, and they want to see and listen. And even having a spot up high sometimes for a cat is great. But less human interaction initially, depending on the history of the animal. But they do need to be pushed a little bit, just otherwise they'll choose to retreat and stay that way. So it's just, you don't, like you said, you want to give them that outlet after 10 minutes or something, to give them a break, because changing a behavior or fear in animals is highly stressful for them. Okay, so it's not like a standard training. But so I think the other thing too is no direct eye contact. Allow the animals to investigate and smell you. It's great to drop down high value pieces of meat or treats and drop them kind of around your feet. And for the braver animals, cats and dogs, they'll come up and they'll start to smell. I'm not sure if we have the handouts out yet, but there's proper places to to pet animals, like specifically dogs. Personally, it drives me nuts. I always try to correct people, because people are notorious to go in on a dog's head and start scruffing the top of their head. And dogs actually hate that. 98% of the dogs out there do not like that. It is the safest place for a dog to pet here underneath the neck and the chest area, and pat the sides of their flanks. Okay, a lot. Some dogs don't like their tails touched or their paws, and more specifically though, right here on the head. Okay, it's just encroaching and it's basically rude. And for cats, it's interesting, but cats are similar but not, I guess. Depending on the familiarity with the cat, how the cat knows people. At the base of the tail, on the back, Here's the tail. They like it when you kind of itch their butt right there. Some do. Otherwise, it can be overstimulation for them. They get too excited, too overstimulated.
Okay. Can I ask a question specific to that? One of my cats, she has a spot, and it's right there at the base of her tail. You scratch it, and she starts licking.
Yeah.
She's like,
that's
go.
stimulation. It's
And
like the best thing ever.
I just took a Snapchat video of my husband doing it to her last night because he's like, oh, Daddy's got the spot, and she's sitting there. You stop scratching, she stops licking. She like starts grooming herself. So is that like would you interpret that as like a happy stimulation?
Yeah.
There?
Well, honestly they can get so overstimulated quickly when you rub there. It's easier, especially if you don't know the animal, to start out with, like where their sensors are, or their sensors cheeks. Here on their cheeks and under their chin here and a little bit on their chest. And some of them will actually let you rub the base of their ears. They like that as well. It's soothing to them. And then, like I said, it can be overstimulation in the spot at the base of the tail, but some cats do love it. So, I just wanted to kind of bring that up because, like I said, the main thing is with dogs, it doesn't build confidence when you're kind of just looming in and you're forcing interaction. The other thing would be with any animal, especially cats, if you're sitting down or you're crouched down, it's less threatening, depending on where the cats came from or the dogs. Men they walk more abrasively, they're louder than women. I wanted to point out that not every animal has suffered from abuse, of a man or something like that because they're fearful of men. A lot of times those animals have had zero interaction with men or, with humans as a whole. And again, men are just tall. You guys are gigantic. And women are more dainty, and we are quieter most of the time. Our voice isn't as deep and gruff, which may sound like a growl to some animals. And we usually are more, I don't want to nurturing. Sorry, nurturing. No, we're the nurturers. I think it really depends.
I think it really depends.
It does.
But certainly, I think that, kids, I think, I don't have children, but I think kids are the same way. Mm-hmm. Often they find that men can be more intimidating because of the height, the loudness of the voice. They might wear heavy work boots. I mean, there's lots. Women could too. There's
facial hair.
But yeah, there's lots of things. Yeah, I hear a lot of people, or people that wear hats more often, are often kind of intimidating to pets. The masks definitely don't help with a lot of pets right now.
Yeah, a lot of stuff stacked against animals right now because like even Shannon here, she's got glasses on that restrict her face and a mask and everything, and these animals have no clue what's coming at them. So, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out that, you guys, if you're patient, if you give them space and free will, to make a conscientious decision that humans can be associated with good things like food, and play, and they have a choice to approach, you'll see your shy animal will start to show more confidence and be more invested and interested in being a part of your life. And it will come. Not every cat, all right, is going to be that sociable, that you may expect. Some cats are more independent. They like it that way. And every animal is individual. So this is an all-encompassing, promise of what is to come, but it is giving tips how to work with them. Mm-hmm. So.
And don't forget to check our website for more handouts and resources, www.savingpetsinmaine.org, and then you can click on our resources page. And we have all sorts of things, and we're constantly adding new things there, handouts, video clips, information that we reference on our website. These are on Facebook, and we mentioned will be posted there as well. So definitely reach out if you need more advice or you have questions.
And then also Shannon had come up with an amazing idea for the future that if you guys have ideas or questions, we would pick out 2 or 3 questions, even posting below in the comments to answer them, because I know, again, sometimes specific questions aren't answered. We don't have enough time, but if we can focus on it.
Yeah, so maybe we could do like a little bit of a Q&A thing. And get a couple of ideas from you of things that you'd like us to chat about for your dogs or cats for future pet talks. So definitely feel free to just put a comment down below this video. and we'll be checking out to see what you guys might want to hear about in the future.
Thank you guys for watching this. We appreciate it, and we will see you again soon. Happy holidays.
Bye.